Here we go. Hello, hello, hello. We are live. I believe we are. It's Friday, August 21st. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. My name is G. This is Allastrology. Get yourself a free reading. These are speed readings. Get your birth digits into the chat first. First come, first serve, birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. Donna Healing Readings is right there at number 1. First one here. What's going on, Donna? How are you? Happy birthday for your daughter. House of Tea, House of Toe, House of Tao is here. Forgive my pronunciations. Donna says, yeah, you caught the live. Donna says, I sent my digits and donation. Oh, thank you so much, Donna. Yay. JV1234, I see you. How are you? I see and hear you well. Oh, awesome. Great. We don't have to mess around with any of that nonsense then. Excellent. Okay, great. All right, let's get everything in order. First come, first serve. Get your digits in if you want a reading. And yeah, sometimes people send donations because they can afford to do that. And if you do, I spend more time on their chart. All right. It's just a simple way to help the channel, way to help those that can help the channel, and vice versa. So if you can't do the cash donation or the Cash App or Venmo or whatever, you just, we'll do a reading for you, no problem. It will be a speed reading. And it helps me to just keep on going and keep doing what we're doing here. So let's get first things in order. If you are new, the chat is the queue. You follow what that means? It means you got to get your digits there into the queue, get your name, say hello. Some people send it privately through the email, which is also down below, and that is fine. I can create your chart that way. If you don't know your birth time, don't make it up. Just simply state, I don't know my birth time. Okay? We'll create a noon hour chart. Those are not as accurate, but it's better than working with nothing. And I would recommend that you get your birth time. Most counties, most places you can, at least in America, you can get all that information online. You can pay them a small fee, and then they take sometimes 60 to 90 days before they send you your birth digits, your full birth digits. But it's worth it to have it in the long run, okay? So we're going to start, and we're going to try to do this. We're going to try to do this smoothly. So I hope everyone is doing well, and we're going to keep on. Yeah, I got the email, Donna. Thank you very much. Got the email. And so let me create that chart. And thank you for the donation. Thank you for the gift, channel gift. I see the PayPal. I appreciate that. And I got the digits for, do you want me to use her name on the chart, or do you just want me to put this down as your daughter, Donna's daughter, or let me get over to this real quick, and we'll get this chart drawn up. Oh, I got a whole lot of... Where am I getting all this spam email from? Gotta surf through all that. Okay. Let's get this going. We'll get a chart created. And I'm going to repeat these digits. Have you seen her birth chart before? Like to confirm? So let me see here. Right now we're going to put... and I hope everybody is doing good and that people are free from insane weather events and whatnot. Interesting side note, not really side note, but in events that's happened for me here where we live, I haven't looked at it, but one of my housemates has looked at the chart for the city that I live in. And oh boy, does it make sense for the events that we've had. The increase in crazy ass weather events, tornadoes, 2 weeks apart. It makes sense. It's like, oh geez. Yeah, Chiron is part of the story for sure, along with the North Node in Aquarius energy. Okay, so Donna, we have at 8:06 p.m. 1993. And let's just double check all of this. Okay, so this is... Okay, let's get this on the screen for you. Since I know you know a little something about astrology, let me see if this is gonna... If it's on my team today. Oh, look at that. It's on my team today. Yay. I'm liking that. There we go. That kind of eases that up a little bit. Tia, S1978. We see your chat. It's here. Hello, John. All right, so get your digits to me if you want a reading. These are speed readings. Some folks leave a channel gift, and so I do spend a little bit more time on their reading because they left a gift with the channel. So we're going to start off with Donna healing readings. And let me get over to that real quick. I don't know what's going on. I got some weird stuff with the StreamYard. Hopefully you all are still present in there. Okay. Okay, so here is the chart. This is showing me an Aquarius rising with Saturn on the ascendant. Whoa. Is this truly? Donna, have you seen her chart before? Again, August 21st, 1993, 8:06 p.m., New Westminster, Canada. This is showing a moon at 29 degrees in Libra. Wow. So the moon trines Saturn. Saturn at 26 on the ascendant of Aquarius. Aquarius, what we're doing right now, live streaming and astrology. Gotta love that. And yeah, 29 degrees Leo sun. So nodes are at 8. Oh, wow. Ooh, that's some powerful energy. Deeply transformational energy as well. Oh my God. And even supported by Ra. Holy crap. Okay. Fascinating. Okay. Some really fascinating stuff here. Lots of Leo energy. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. A lot of Leo. Yikes. Even air, Mars in Libra at 6, Jupiter right there at 13. Damn. Okay. Okay. Moon at 29, significant one-on-one relationships, partnerships in the 8th house of change, transformation, deep bonds, maybe some trauma, ancestral stuff, healing, ultimately, the healing energy, maybe working with the public. Very good possibility. Feminine energy is strong here as well. She even has Pluto in the 8th house. Holy crap. Pluto and Scorpio sitting in her 8th house at the boss degree. Good God. Crazy. And the sun conjunct Regulus. Talk about boss energy. Get out of the way. This is what this is. Get the hell out of the way. Just get out of this person's way. Holy shit. Mercury, 21 degrees of Leo. That's Jupiter. Holy moly. So there can be a high level of intellect here, whether it's in, skill sets and learning and teaching and preaching, right? And higher education. That can be a thing. This is all within the home. Domestic energy, I'll say, day-to-day routines, but also at the job. This can be tricky energy. What I will add is that with all the Virgo energy in the 7th house of partnerships, domestic partnerships, but also professional partnerships, God, the number 8 is super prevalent in her chart. I mean, her nodes are at 8, and she's got that stuff in the 8th and the 9th. Wow. Or 8 and 9 degrees. Okay, so this sort of energy came to make change, deep changes on a deep level, below the surface stuff. This is like soul energy. So many times for individuals, it's a hard life to live because it doesn't necessarily match the personality. This is a bold ass personality with all this Leo energy, but there's some depth to it actually. She has Ra at 8 degrees. This is the Egyptian sun god in Leo. Sun, you follow, like double sun energy, not to mention the sun at 29. And then there's a Chiron, the wound there. And then there's Pythia, who's an oracle. Like this is, like I said, get out of the way energy. So in the workplace, daily routines, jobs, project tasks, health may be a thing. This would be heart energy, your metaphorical heart, your physical heart. This can be a combination of both of those. But the Saturn at the opposition of the Pythia, the work, the duty, the responsibility, the seriousness, and likely getting bits of information about the future, kind of like this prophecy, but specifically for long-term things, long-range things. But long-range things, whether it's friends and groups, things that's just different, unique, and out there, this can kind of be on the subconscious side, but because it's on her ascendant, some of this may leak through in her appearance and how she seems to be, and the boss energy coming forward yet again. This could even say that birth may have been, because Saturn can create restrictions and slowdowns. Saturn says we're not rushing it. Saturn says we're going to go slow. It's the tortoise, but it's building for the long-term success. But unique, different, and maybe even unconventional birth in some way because of the Aquarian energy. Just something, technology and hospital stuff and science would all be part of it. So sometimes these people are born and have to spend a little bit of time with some assistants or ICU, stuff like that, with Aquarius energy and tech. But Venus is involved in some way. So the comforts would be a thing, but very different and unique, and setting up new structures, just a new rubrics, literally something quite unconventional for the long term. So this would be that ascendant energy again. And so maybe teeth every now and then, maybe bones every now and then, because it's Saturn and it does sit right on her ascendant. What I will say, though, is that there's a nice trine. Again, I mentioned a little bit about the trine to the moon. So there's this long-term family thing, building for the long term, and very serious about that. This can be a bond with mom and ancestral stuff, but there can also be some deep wounds here, traumas, tragedies from the past. This can be role reversals, like I was my mom. My mom, my mom was my daughter in the other. Like there's the deepness there in the 8th house, the traumas, the tragedies, depth. And then this Venus is jumping out at 23 degrees. This is also more different, unique home life. different and unique in terms, like, it's really independent energy. Okay, just so is an Aquarius on the rising, unbelievably independent, or at least they look very independent. And even the Venus, there's something different, unique, solitude, even home, family, independent, really independent. So these people can seem very strong-willed, very much where they are. You're not going to tell them what to do. Here's the thing in this chart, in her chart, the Venus trines her Pluto, which trines her karma. You see, like, they're very close in degrees. So this talks about these deep bonds. My love language, Venus in her 5th house, home, family, mom energy again, right? And it's conjunct her 6th house cusp line, domestic energy, but home and family, nurturing, maybe even institutional energy might drop in here with the 24 degrees. Feminine energy, something really strong in the past. And this strong trine is kind of set up in the chart with a grand water trine for her because of the vertex here at 17. And that vertex giving some depth in terms of, here's the thing, a super ascendant, right? The vertex and the anti-vertex, other than those being talked about in terms of fate, right? The we energy, the fate, like events occur, right? Things happen. This is really creative Pisces energy, can be about my spirituality, my beliefs, really creative, really creative. Almost, these people usually have an air about them, which can look kind of Hollywoodish or mystical, magical, fantasy, make-believe, right? Because it's the actor, right? This is at the Leo degree, high drama. There can be moments of high drama. So for her, it's like in her 1st house and in her partnerships, okay, that high dramatic degree. So home and family, but partnerships and domestic energy, and the super ascendant, which is like, this is who she is as far as personality. So the Pisces energy steps forward here, but it's at a boss degree. And when you get a combination of Leo and Pisces energy, the dramatics can be over the top. This is like a combination for politicians, for politics, for people who kind of get their hands in the middle of things and who vocalize and who express, who have a flair for expressing in a very creative way that is highly impressionable for those who are listening. And what's beautiful for a person who has a Venus in the Cancer energies, they come across as very sincere and authentic. Like they really are sensitive to the needs. And the empathy is very strong. You know, being able to nurture, wanting to nurture, like this is all quite strong. But she has that again at the very much authority figure energy, like the mama bear for real, because it's 23 degrees, right, with Venus. So this grand water trine in that area would be a major superpower, not to mention her other superpower, Gemini, talking, it's conjunct Aldebaran, communications, huge. Being able to communicate, sell anything, selling ice to an Eskimo. But the difference is at the 8 degrees, she's going to want to be learning and teaching and absorbing information, sharing information that's deeply meaningful. This is that Scorpio energy. We learned a lot about that, right? Just almost less than a week ago, the deep Scorpio energy, the 8-8 Lionsgate, the depth that's involved, and how they don't mess around with petty stuff. They're like, don't waste my time. That's Scorpio. So this is her superpower. If she's going to learn about something, if she's going to talk about something, this is what it's going to be. And it's the soul's power. It's her soul's goal. And this is a part of her whole path forward, which means she's incorporating the past. She's incorporating that superpower of her soul, the depth and the knowledge and the learning and the wisdom. But it's to literally to focus, to zero in and focus and weave in some sort of spirituality, possibly, right? Some of the ancient teachings, because that's her north node. And so that is where we're going forward on this soul's lifetime's mission. It's in the house of publishing. So it's teaching, it's higher education. I become the teacher, I become the spiritual teacher, but maybe I have to first learn about those things. But it includes that soul's energy. So this is a pretty deep placement for this person, and their need to go on a journey, their need to experience, their need to dabble literally in the esoteric stuff for sure at 8 degrees, but also in the higher stuff, in the ancient laws, in the universal laws, the natural laws, again, spirituality. For a person who's a little on the younger side, they may dabble, 1993 birth, they may dabble in traditional stuff, right? Or maybe they have moved beyond that to recognize that all the traditional religions, there's that whole spiritual blanket that covers and encompasses and includes all of them, right? And so ultimately, that's the wisdom of the Sagittarian energy. Teaching, bottom line, teaching. And healing may be a big part of it in whatever way she chooses to go forward with that, because of the fact that she's got Pluto at 22, boss, when it comes to change, transformation, and healing on a deep level, and her Aquarius, Uranus, and her Neptune. They're in Capricorn. So this is somebody who's going to be doing work likely in the corporate world, possibly working with group energy, maybe even social services is possible because it's the 11th house and structures. But it's with Virgo energy. So it talks about just like these are nurses and stuff. These are people who do home health care. These are people who take care of the essentials and the really important stuff that other people, well, really that nobody really wants to do, right? But it's really super, super important stuff in terms of this is how life happens, the details, cleaning, hygiene, cleanliness, the freaking details, connecting the dots for success to get the big picture and have that long-term financial stability. She has this in the house of gains, the house of the angelic realm, just so you know, right? This is good to know. That means success through work and big time boss energy for this one. Big time boss energy. It's kind of wild. So hopefully, for her and in the work realm, especially with all that Leo energy, holy freaking creative. This chart, in a way, Michael Jackson, same thing, a buttload of Leo in the 6th and some in the 7th, like boss energy for real. And of course, he had Virgo in the 7th too, but he was a Virgo sun. So he had the ability to incorporate a lot of details, right, in what he did, and everything, there was a purpose behind it. So her sun in Leo being at the 29 and conjunct the Regulus. This is the little king. Like people don't tell the little king what to do, right? So this would be a person who commands authority, like walks into the room and commands authority. And people will likely be like, okay, obviously this person knows what they're talking about, or they know what they're doing. So if she hasn't embraced that, which I can't believe that she hasn't, because the sun sextiles the moon. This is lots of confident energy in relationships, personal and professional. Okay. Lots of really strong, confident energy, pulling up the rear, especially with the soul power. But group energy, friends, unique, independent, very inventive and creative. Hopefully she's using her creativity in some way for her own, for her own benefit, but for the benefit of others, because ultimately that's what the 11th house wants to do. It is about, we're doing this for the good of all involved. Like that's 11th house energy. But in her chart, long-term goals, long-term plans, material, financial security. This is what I'm building. Building social systems, social services, but even just networking through friendships. There can be benefits, long-term benefits. Okay. And so, woo, what a chart. What a chart. This, the values of the earthy energy of how I feel nurtured, home and family. This is also at the health degree, by the way. She has Sirius at 6 degrees. Nurturing energy, more feminine energy, more Venus energy, more Cancer energy, more moon energy right here with food. How do I nurture self? How do I nurture others? This is the addictions. Just going to add, this is what came in right before I went live. In terms of, it's Friday, it's a Venus day. So it's all about our cravings, our creature comforts. What do we need? Our addictions. And so when a person has the Venus energy in the Venus house, some of that might be kind of strong at times. Good for her that she has discipline, 22 degrees Aries on the second house cusp line. I would imagine that helps. But maybe in times of stress and struggle, she may reach for whatever, to help pacify something, to help nurture, to help someone feel safe and secure, and to establish harmony. Like, this is big time food and the earth, nature, big time with Cancer in general, wanting to stabilize and wanting to supply nurturing. But the Sirius in Taurus says, I have to establish harmony here. And so Taurus tends to be about the food, right? Whether it's cooking, baking, maybe just even foraging, even out in the woods, whatever. But it's going to try to, if we have children, especially with a person who's got Cancer in the 5th house and Leo in the 6th house, children would be a very big thing, which means we could even kind of adopt, and we don't have to like legally adopt, but we kind of bring people into the fold regardless of their age, and we make them part of our family. They become our children in some way, and vice versa, right? It's a two-way street. So for her Sirius and the nurturing and all the Cancer with her Venus there and unconventional, I love this for her. Now, one last thing I'm going to touch on real quick. Her great benefic is Jupiter. Relationships, starting relationships. She's got Jupiter at the Aries degree. You follow? So this is her 7th house, significant one-on-one relationship, personal and professional. And this is where somebody may swoop in and provide a benefit. This is where, because she knows somebody, it provides a benefit. You follow? This is where, sure, it can be in spouse energy, for definitely, but it can also be the one-on-one relationships, literally, whether somebody's counseling somebody one-on-one, or because this is law, this is lawyers, this is courtrooms, this is judges. This is a nice placement, especially if someone's ever, has to go down the path of divorce or whatever, if they ever have the need for a lawyer. Having the Jupiter at 13 degrees in the 7th house can be really nice. And it's part of, she's got a trine, it trines right to her 4th house cusp line, that Jupiter. So that's sweet. That's a nice placement to have. And I think that the confidence in meeting people and starting relationships and initiating is probably shows up pretty big in her life in some way, especially with fun Leo energy. It just wants to have fun. That's going to be very important to this energy. Having a good time. Parties. That's the energy of parties, is Leo. Making a party out of it all. So in terms of the Ra keeps jumping out, the sun language, the power, the energy, the knowledge, the history. It comes forward really strongly here in that 6th house. And it's got the wisdom of the soul with it. So she has that in multiple places. You see that right there in the 7th house, 8 degrees. She's got America. This is all in addition to the soul energy at the 8 degrees. But the Ra trines her north node. You follow? The Ra, the sun god Ra. This is a person who this person finds solutions. They're like, what do I call this person? I call this person the, they can just find solutions to things. There might be difficulties for everybody else, but for this person, when there's obstacles, they find the loopholes. Because she's got the ability for the details, but they find the loopholes. Okay. So domestic pets can also be a thing in the 6th house. And in any time I say Virgo or you see the number 6, that can be a thing too. And Sirius is right there at 6 degrees with that too. So, these are just little things to keep in mind for somebody, because she's got 6 showing up in multiple places. with all that Virgo energy, especially with the vertex there. And then she has this Hygeia at 0 degrees. So it talks about the health. So it can be the health in partnerships. It can be the health of myself, the health of myself in a partnership. And when a person has the Virgo energy in the 7th house, usually animals are going to be a big part of those relationships. And if they're not, because not everybody does that, right? Not everybody feels comfortable. Like, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't have to be a chart where someone's pulling in, boa constrictors or monkeys as their friends in the home, domesticated. Like, no, it can be cat and dog energy for sure. Just something basic and simple, but it would make sense. It would make sense when she's definitely has a Juno here at 9 degrees partnership in the 7th house as well. Okay. And again, it connects to her north and her south node. So that brings in her knowledge from the past, her skill set, her ability to talk, her ability to do multiple things at one time, to multitask. But the goal is to focus on just like 1 or 2 or 3 things. And that's it, to zero in and use the Sagittarius laser beam going forward. Remember, it's in the 9th house of spirituality. Now, it is travel. It is higher education, maybe going back to school, maybe becoming the spiritual teacher or seeking out a spiritual teacher. But that's, if she hasn't taken that route yet, that is one of the bigger themes with the Saggy, and the seeking and the searching and the knowledge and the wisdom. Again, another nice placement for somebody if they ever have to use lawyers or law or the justice and judicial system, because that's the 9th house as well. And she's got her freaking north node there. So whether she's ever, obviously strong on fairness and freedom and equality, and justice, that would be huge for this person. Sometimes people have a hard time expressing their north node. She probably doesn't, because it's conjunct her Antares, the Scorpio's tail, the stinger, however you say it, Antares. It's right there with her, and she's got some other objects. So I am thinking that for a person with this in their chart, they're kind of already on that road with that, but travel can be the other way, the other route that this goes, because it's the 9th house. I want to explore. I'm the ultimate explorer. So happy birthday to your daughter. I hope that this has given a little insight as to who she is and what she has going forward. One thing I will add is that 2027, I mean, right now is going to be big for her in general, because she has Jupiter going through all her Leo energy. You follow? So like right now, Jupiter is sitting, where's Jupiter? Like at 11? Yeah. So Jupiter is getting close in the next few months. It's going to get close to like her Mercury, right? So maybe making travel plans, right? Maybe doing something fun. But looking into the future is Jupiter energy. But then Jupiter's going to get to her 28, 29 degrees, and it's going to go backwards. But the south node up there is going backwards, right? So she's got the south node on her sun right now, and on her Chiron. And as it sits there, and it's going to sit there for months, this south node in Leo is not a fast mover, folks. This is kind of what has me concerned, is it's like just sitting there. And so usually that means there's a lot of work that has to be done in this area. So it's in the way that she expresses or doesn't expresses. Does she use her creativity? And if she doesn't, this south node in the Leo energy is asking her to release something, because something new, something unique, something where she's going to be inventive, and her authenticity should come out more and shine through. And that would be in the placement of dreams, but eventually work. Something long-term, because the south node in Aquarius will sit on her Saturn, which is my work, my duty, my responsibility. So she's going to be getting like little drops, little samples, little tidbits, little breadcrumbs along the way, because the node is just sitting at 29 degrees all the way until, when the hell does it move? It doesn't move until like almost October, you see? But it's been here since, July. Yeah. So it's really pretty crazy. Yeah, you have to get into like the first week of October, and then the node is going to, second week. Then the node's going to hit the 28 degrees, and that's when she'll start to really feel it even stronger. So maybe some changes as far as her dreams for work, her long-term goals, because it's Saturn energy, and hers screams something different, unique, and unconventional. These people have the ability to work super good with group energy. You follow? They may enjoy being popular, right? It's likely that, like clubs, right? Online stuff, even, but positions of authority in her case, for sure. She's got so much of it, unless she doesn't know how to use that power and she abuses it. Okay. But working together for a worthwhile cause, these people can be part of like rebellions and protesting and politics, because political figures are supposed to be speaking and serving the group, serving humanity. All right. So that's what's on the menu for your daughter. That's what's coming down the pipe, or pike, whatever. I hope that makes sense. All right, let's get to the next one. Who was next in line? We are moving along. House of Tao. Are you here? Tao? I think that's how you say that. House of Tao? Is House of Tao here? Oh, we got a couple other names. Yeah, we're doing free readings. These are speed readings. The reading I just did was not a free, was not a speed reading. She sent a gift to the channel, so I spent more time on her chart. All right, which you can do. But if you don't have the means to do that, don't worry about it. We're going to get to you. But it's a speed reading for anybody who can't give the donation or the gift. Totally fine. This is kind of like this channel's ministry, to give everybody access, whether you have the means or not. So moving right along, Donna, thank you again for the gift to the channel. JV1234, you're next, it says. Are you here? Are you still here, JV? Yeah, if you're throwing your digits, that would be great. If you have a question, like this person from India had a question and they said money problem. So they just went ahead and said it and said, this is what I need. This is what I need you to focus on. That's fine. Just make sure I have all your digits, okay? Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. You follow? If you don't know your birth time, please tell me you don't know your birth time. And please, please, please don't make me fish for your information. Try to get it all on the same line in the chat. Otherwise, I'm like all over the damn place, and I'm already all over the damn place. So help me help you. Gather people together. What was that? She was the boss of me at the age of 4. Oh my God, I believe it. I believe it. Well, you were smart. You were like, yeah, okay, go ahead. A strong, independent woman. That her chart confirms that for sure. Absolutely. She's got no choice. She's got the sun on freaking Regulus, amongst other things. But she has the backing of the soul power. I mean, this person is a force to be reckoned with. Like, there's no getting around it with this lady. She would really utilize her energy while working for people, literally working for the masses, like I don't want to say a politician, somebody servicing group energy in some way. These are people who would get shit done. As long as they stay true to the people and the needs of the people. Yeah. People like that. Yeah. Okay. Let me find out if, JV's here. Great. All right, JV, what am I looking at? I know I have your digits. Let me get your chart. But what am I looking at for you? Let's get you on the screen here. I tried to do a live earlier this week. It just didn't work out. Some days it's tricky with my mom and her schedule, and my mom's in great need. So it's like whenever another sibling is with her, it just kind of takes up time. And honestly, how many more conversations will there be? Yeah. When a person can still communicate, you kind of have to that has to kind of lead the way. Where are you at? I'm looking. You're probably going to be right there. All right, so let me know. Did you tell me what I'm focusing? Okay, life purpose. Okay, you know what we're going to do? Let me take a look at this one. I know I did last time, but we're going to do it again. Okay. I'm trying to see if StreamYard's going to oh, yay. There we go. Okay, so this is JD because she was, well, actually, House of Dow was next, but they didn't answer. So when you don't answer and I call you, I got to go to the next one. We got to keep the damn stream flowing, right? These are supposed to be speed readings. Unless someone leaves a gift to the channel, then I spend more time. Otherwise, we got to keep it flowing. That's how we keep it fair. So everybody gets some time, okay? JB123 says we're going to look at life purpose. So I have to take a look at your basic chart again real quick. And yeah, I went with this one. So I'm going to pull up probably the other one real quick. I got to look for the underlying commonalities. I got to look for your Virgo 10-degree moon in Virgo. And you have that big ass kite. Yeah, you have multiple kites. This one is with your South Node. That's tricky. Okay. But it can provide a lot of power. Okay, so far, relationships, Pluto's there. They must be deep, transformational. The Virgo energy is there. The details, but the minutia in terms of the basics, like taking care of, again, these people are nurses. These people are home healthcare aides. These people will do what needs to be done for the benefit of somebody else. Like they see the need and they're like, let's just take care of that. Let's just get that taken care of because it's vital. It's a vital thing. It's not a luxury. It's a vital thing, which is why I love Virgo energy. It's why I love it. Virgo gets it. Most people look the other way and they're like, oh, no way in hell, I'm not doing that. Or I don't want to be a part of that. But it's just like at the end of the day, like it's that energy that makes the world go around. This is the service industry. These are the people out picking your goddamn vegetables, growing your vegetables. You know what I'm saying? These are people cleaning, housekeeping, your restaurants. Like this is, what would society do without these people? They'd kill each other. That's what they would do. I mean, my God, look what happened during the pandemic, right? That's when we were like, oh, but these are our essential workers. They're so important. And they are. It's just too bad society doesn't treat them that way or compensate them that way. That's what gets me. Them and teachers. I mean, there's just not enough credit. So with all of that said, strong Capricorn energy in this chart. Okay. So I'm paying attention to your life purpose as a multi-layered question. Do you want me to do that according to your personality, according to your soul, or do you want it where it's a harmonization of both? I'm just saying. Oh, I see what you said there. Very good. Okay, there you go. If you can find a nonprofit system, I'm just going to tell you right now, without even going any further because of the Pluto, it has to be deeply meaningful and it has to be new. I'm initiating. It's at 13 degrees. It's conjunct your South Node, your superpower in this chart, and it is in career. You follow? It's Mars at 4 degrees in this chart of healing, working with the public. You follow? So it's doing something that's meaningful, especially if it's not for profit. Especially, we've been having that conversation in this house a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about somebody needed a medical procedure. And anyway, we were talking about how good luck trying to find a not-for-profit hospital, and why that matters, right? Yeah, they definitely need to come back and we need some of that. So let me go take a peek at this other one for you real quick. And this one, we're going to see what matches in my brain here. So again, Scorpio, same thing, moon business partnerships, but at the moon degree, professional partnerships, 9th house may involve travel. or the law, whatever. But I know the healing thing is a big deal in hospital work. Something with institutional energy. Yeah, you have Neptune in the 4 degrees in the 12th house in this chart. Okay, so here's what's going to happen, okay, in general for you, right? Because Pluto's going to come along over the next few years. It's going to catch up to your Mercury in this chart. You can see your Mercury at 9 degrees. So that may involve learning something new in traveling, unconventional and different. This is Mercury and your Sun together and your Venus making money and income. It's all in your first house, right? And so over time, especially since the North Node up in the sky is moving through Aquarius, it's going to be moving backwards, right? It's going to touch onto your Jupiter. Okay, so you're going to take this journey. This is going to be something unique. It definitely involves group energy, maybe science and tech, maybe the combination, medicine, right? Maybe the combination, institutional energy, Jupiter at 24 degrees. But the independent energy is really strong with this Aquarius stuff. Okay, strong independent energy. So for you, you're going to get, this is all going to get amplified and triggered anyway. You follow? So take that path of unconventional, of unique, of different, because you want to know about your life's purpose. You're not asking me, hey, which route's going to make me the most money, right? You're asking for your life's purpose. Well, yours is definitely intertwined with working with groups and social systems, but social systems that benefit humanity. Okay, that's where your Sun, your Mercury, your Venus, and something that's deeply transformational. It's powerful energy. So this is showing once we get to, you're looking by October, going into November even. Yeah, end of October. This North Node up in the sky is conjunct your second house cusp line. You follow? And this is probably going to happen in October. It's probably not going to wait until November. There's going to be something about your future that comes down the pipe where you're like, you may have a series of opportunities. Okay, travel may be involved, but could be for job and career and income. All right. It's Aquarius energy and it's conjunct your Jupiter. Now, Venus is your greater benefic, so this may be a learning opportunity, like I might be going back to school type of thing, or increasing some sort of knowledge in some way, all right? Whether that's maybe through tech, because teaching, or maybe maybe a mentor takes you on, or you become a mentor for somebody. But look, even at this time, this is end of October going into November, you have a Venus training your Venus, a Venus training your Jupiter. This is a big deal. So go with the changes. Be flexible, though. This is the main lesson of what you're facing, is that you have to be flexible and you have to be open to doing something unconventional. All right. And it may be that there's going to be a couple of different like lily pads that you jump and springboard to and from before you get to where you're like, okay, now this is my soul's path type of thing. You follow, because it's going through your second house of income and money. And Jupiter usually brings lots of opportunities and options, but surprises. You follow? And that's why expect the unexpected kind of vibration is what's on the menu for you. But in terms of your career and stuff, that's the springboard of go to step 1, then that'll show you step 2, then that'll show you step 3, which means you don't get to see all the stages laid before you. And that can be quite tricky. You follow? Yes. I hope this made sense for you. All right, we're moving on. These are free readings. And we want to make sure everybody gets a reading. So these are speed readings unless someone sends a gift to the channel. And then we take a little bit more time. and we spend more time on that chart. But as far as that goes, we're going to keep on going through and getting readings for the people who show up in the chat. It's first come, first serve. So say hello, get your name in there, and give me your digits. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. We go in the order in which you appeared in the chat. All right? And the next name I see is John Staff, but I don't see digits for you, John, so we're moving on from that one. The next name up is Tia. Tia, I see you. There's your thing, but I don't see digits attached to that. All right, we're going to Dorothy. Dorothy, how are you doing? Glad to see you have electric still. Me too, right? You have my digits, yes, and whatever pops out. Okay, great. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Dorothy. I have my doctors that I usually see once a week, and I saw them yesterday, and they're in Indiana, so they got the same storm we got hit with because they're just east of us, right? And so they said that their power came back on for a little bit yesterday, but then it shut right off. I mean, I'm not laughing as in that's funny. I'm laughing as in like it's insane, because that feeling after, and they have been without power for, let's see, over 10 days, 12 or something like that. I mean, it would have been going on almost 2 weeks, I think. Just a little bit short of 2 weeks. And then your power comes on, and then, and it's on for like over an hour. Not like a glitch, not like a flash. It's on for like over a freaking hour, and then it goes back off again. And the one doctor was like, I mean, you could just see and they have a very small child. It was like, oh my God. I felt so bad. I feel, it just feels so chaotic and insane. But everybody is okay. Although there have been 7 deaths so far that's been claimed, unfortunately. I think they were all in Indiana. They're underwater there. Other than being without power, they're still in extreme flooding in some areas. I know, Dorothy, we're getting you up here. I'm telling that story in between your chart, and here it comes. So, Dorothy, what I am going to do for you real quick here is, let me get this on the screen if I can get it up here. Oh, there it is. Okay, great. Let's get that off. Let's click you there and click you like that. There we go. All right, so here's Dorothy. Okay. So your moon jumped out right off the bat. I feel like your moon always jumps out at me. But your moon and your Mars are trining each other. And Venus is popping out really big. Venus was popping out earlier today for everybody in general. I believe because it's Friday and it's a Venus day in general. But what this tells me is that this is the first thing, the moon, my emotions, what I need to feel emotionally safe and secure. Creature comforts is going to be big, right? Peace and harmony are going to be huge. Your moon is at a Venus degree. You follow? So significant one-on-one relationships. Those are going to be important. A sense of sacrifice, but idealism, maybe even perfection, but a dreamy energy, really creative energy too, which can be quite beautiful. Nature is what I'm hearing right now really loudly, is nature. So whether you've been able to spend time in nature in any way that works for you. Some people are like, oh God, I have allergies, I can't do that. So, whatever that is, bring nature indoors, whether it's through paintings, pictures, whatever it is. I had a friend who in the last, what's it been, 10 days? Yeah, I've been gifted by 3 different people who handed me like physical gifts. It wasn't astrology, it had nothing to do with astrology. And they were all a surprise. They were all very nice gifts. And this one person actually drew quite a few things or painted quite a few things for me. And I was really surprised. But one of them was like a nature scene. And it's a nature scene of a place that I've been to. So it was a really nice little reminder of how you can bring nature indoor and then, have it look at and kind of just feel that serene, because that's Pisces, feeling calm and serene. And it's needing a place to escape to is Pisces, by the way. So in your relationships, significant one-on-one relationships is escape energy. And if we don't do it in a healthy way, we find other ways to do it. But nature is a really healthy way, in creativity, music, images, poetry, sound. That's all that Pisces stuff. Now, Venus, what does this have to do with this? The Venus is over here in Leo for you. Leo, and it's in a moon degree, you see. So the Venus over here in the Leo, authority figure, feminine energy, I want to play, I want to have a good time, can be highly dramatic though. It's an uncomfortableness. It's an uncomfortableness with your moon. It creates some irritation with your moon. And at the same time, it also, your Mars is part of this too. So there can be impatience, there can be aggression and assertions with Mars, because Mars is a warrior. And this Mars and your Venus, there's always stress and tension. They're always like this. You follow? So in combination with that moon that you have, that can be something that can be tricky to balance, okay? But the good news is, Venus can be our addictions, our desires, our cravings. And in the Leo energy, it wants to have fun. It wants to create. It wants to feel like a child again. But for you, maybe, I don't know if you've tapped into that or if you're able to see it in terms of literally you creating, because it's in your 12th house. And that's subconscious. That's the realm of that's hidden from me. Like, this is what I desire, and it's a hidden desire, but it's Leo energy. So maybe it's simply my hidden desire is my desire to be the authority figure. That could be it. It's Leo. Okay. The Leo wants to be, the authority figure for sure. But it also wants to have a good time. But the authority of how it has a good time, the authority of its own life, right? The authority of children, possibly, because this would be a combination of dad energy. Yeah, it's big time dad energy. And you also have that here. Don't know if you've recognized this in your own chart, but you have Saturn and your Sun at a 0 degree, both authority figures in their own right within significant one-on-one relationships, but they're at the critical degree. So balance is a seeking and a searching energy, big time here for you in your chart. This energy says, and balance, of course, because it's in Libra, but not just it could be in any sign. Anytime we have anything at the 0 degree marker, that means this is energy that's a little over the top. It's a little extreme. And so we always have to find ways to recalibrate that energy. Venus wants harmony. She wants things, she wants equality, she wants fairness. So in your chart, the Venus shows up in a lot of ways, because remember now, the Venus I'm talking about isn't just the Venus in Leo, but it's the Venus that rules your Saturn and your Sun in Libra. Venus rules that Libra energy. So you see your Venus energy she's pretty intense in reality. So just kind of keep some of that in mind, sometimes the Libra, the Venus, sometimes without them knowing it, they can come across as controlling without them knowing it. And it's just because they're trying to create harmony and perfection and fairness and equality, but they sometimes, I have a friend who used to do that all the time. She would do it. Oh God, she would do it. It wasn't horrible, but for some other people, it drove them nuts. Like they would go bonkers with it. But she didn't see like how it would come across as controlling. Somebody would be making a dish and she would have to jump in and be like, oh, you need to use this and this and this to make this, and they're thinking like, hello, I'm the one cooking. Get your ass out of the kitchen. Did I ask? But this person would go really far with it and be like, oh, but you have to be very careful not to use too much of that. This is, this is this way and this, and it would just be like, okay, back up. They just didn't see it. So it can be tricky energy and need recalibrating and balancing it if we're not aware of it. Okay. So that would definitely be something that's just something that is always probably going to be something that you're finding you're always having to work with because it's just so intense. I don't think any of our lessons, I don't think any of our life work is a one and done thing. I don't, because I think new challenges come up along the way. And astrology, if it is nothing else, it is definitely a very holistic thing, which is, it's evolving, it's growing, it's organic, and you got through that challenge, but here's another one, and it's at a higher level, which usually means it's a little bit more refined, a little bit trickier to navigate, Just when we always think we've accomplished something, we get blindsided, and we're like, oh, damn. I thought I had that figured out. Okay. So, ma'am, based on the data of the birth, what you can tell? Well, this says that you were born May 13th, 2000. I need birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. I need more digits, okay? That's how I do my astrology. Amy Holmes says, hey, what's going on? Healy Reading says she's been independent since I can remember. Oh, good. I'm so glad she puts on creative events. Oh, good for her, gathering people. That chart would do that. Here we go. 94, sweet goat. Listen to this one. Sweet goat. Specifically curious about work and love. Well, but these are speed readings. We can do you. We'll see how much time we have because these are speed readings unless you want to send a gift to the channel, but we will get to you. February 6, 2001, 1:09 a.m., Boston, Massachusetts. It's your turn. Are you still here? 94, sweet goat or sweet goats. 94 sweet goats said, I am here. All right, let's get to it. Yeah, let's see what we got going on here. Let me double check the chat here. And yeah, 94, you're next, according to the... All right, so let's draw this up. This is a new chart. Have you seen your chart before? It always helps to confirm, to make sure I'm not reading the wrong chart, because that's always a real bummer. Beyond words. Well, no, actually, I do have words, but they're not words I can say. I mean, I can say them all right, and I do say them, but I don't usually do that here while I'm live. How about that? Does that make sense? February 6th, 2001. And that's tricky with the spacing there. Is that 1:09 a.m. Boston? Boston, Massachusetts. This software. Okay, I got it. So here we go. Let's get this on the screen. All right, let's get this going and let's see if this is you. Confirm for your speed reading. This says February 6, 2001, 1:09 a.m. birth time, Boston, Massachusetts. I've got a Scorpio rising, Scorpio on the ascendant. I have, a Cancer moon at 18. A Mercury in Pisces at 0. Oh, damn. That's a retrograding Mercury in Pisces at 0. Wow. This shows that in the fourth house. Cusp line of the fourth is 27 degrees. Oh, shit. So for you with the nodes right now, if this is your chart, you're going through some stuff. There's changes in the home and family. Huh. Okay. All right. You have your love language, fast and furious. Venus at 2 degrees. That's your love. The quicker, the better. Okay. Absolutely. With the sun, Venus is your great benefic. And you've got your sun conjunct Uranus, Aquarius. Okay. Wow. Different, new, unconventional, very independent energy. Got you. Got you, got you, got you. And Pluto at 14. Yeah, so you've got the node sitting right there in your fourth house at 29 degrees, if this is that. What's interesting is you have Ra, sun god Ra at 27, conjunct your fourth house cusp line as well. These are people who can figure things out. The workaround energy. Yeah, they find the loopholes, the workarounds, because you have this very unique way, and I mean really unique. You know, you're the inventor, all right? Sun in Aquarius, Uranus in Aquarius, Ra in Aquarius. You've got a lot of energy here, in Aquarian energy of your mind. These are the rocket scientists. Hello, engineer energy. These folks, the mind, it's not slow. All right, so with that said, your moon then is conjunct your north node. You want to know what you're supposed to do for work? Well, this shows the north node in the house of healing and working with the public. Feminine energy can be also part of this. Women energy. Homes can be literally physical homes, but health is a part of this in some way. Communications, sales, change should be deeply transformational energy. It's quite powerful. And as far as for you with your work and career, things are going to be, this is expect the unexpected energy. You're going to have options as the north node is traveling through your third house. Networking, talking, the mover, the shaker energy, keep your options open. But you have to be willing to pivot. So right now, you have Mercury getting close to your midheaven. The sun was just there, your long-term goals. And again, your soul is, gosh, you've got such independent energy. It's crazy. Okay. You do have Saturn work. Let me get rid of this chart real quick for you. You can see this. You have Saturn right there in the seventh house, partnerships, institutional energy, possibly. This is very earthy. This is finances, financial, or building something for the earth, hopefully, in a positive way. Something material, long-term financial stability. This is long-term financial partnerships, finances. Like this is that Saturn in Taurus in the seventh house for you. And you do have a nice trine. You have a very nice trine. Very strong earth trine to Pythia. She's an oracle, and you have it in Virgo energy, the energy of the mind. Wow. You have a lot where you have your mind really working for you. And as far as communications, this can be powerful energy. Hopefully, curious to know how you're using all of this. I hope you're doing some good things with it. All right, so you got the Leo at the midheaven. Your sun is right down there at a Leo degree. Let me flip this really quick for you. This is a speed reading. We're going to do a really quick flip on this. And I'm going to go like this. All right, so right now, let's see what I can see here real quick. Okay, fifth house, children, fun, joy, creativity, institutional energy, maybe health. Interesting. Ninth house, substances. I'm sorry, 9 degrees substances. With the Pisces wanting to play, but wanting to escape. Creativity is strong. Okay, so here in this chart, this is definitely the long-term financial security energy, but your Mercury's in Aquarius in this chart. Health is coming up. So, yeah, this is really an interesting look. In this other chart, your Pluto is conjunct the second house cusp line. Okay, so here, let's do this real quick for you. And let's see if you have something coming down the pike soon. Saturn isn't going through your 5th house of romance, which is a delay. Mating, dating, relating. So if you're already in a relationship and things aren't like real fun, you can thank Saturn. It's serious. It makes things really serious, but it also makes us, this is difficult. You've got Neptune sitting right in this other chart. In this other chart, you have Neptune sitting right on your Venus. Venus is your love language, right? Venus is the person you love, how you love, when you love, your style. You use it as a form of escape. Neptune's right on your Venus in this chart. So Venus and Neptune together, it can be very idealistic, which means I take it to a whole nother level. Like my desire doesn't become the material, the physical. My desire becomes, creator. My desire becomes the highest energy possible that I can connect with. Prayer, meditation, spirituality. Or if you aren't on that path, it can make your love disappear. Literally, Neptune on Venus. Like, oh, where did that go? Somebody can go into the hospital, right? It all looks fuzzy and blurry, and we're like, what the hell? And so the thing about the future, I'm thinking about it. I'm wondering about it. I'm like, it's all very confusing. And you have Neptune to thank for that. With that said, again, the slowdown with this is also work energy. And let me see where this is angling for you. Okay, so it is angling the income and the money. The moon's going through the second house of money and love and finances. Here's the deal. In this chart, you have Uranus going through your 7th house of partnerships. This is personal, private, and professional, which says this is about networking. This is a time of networking. This is a time of working with friends and group energy. This is a time of we're not tying and being limited to just one person. This is a time where we're experimenting. This is a time where we're being asked to get on the surfboard and ride those waves because things are going to change in partnerships, personal and professional. This is going to be for a long time, my friend. This isn't like a short-term thing. Now, does it mean we can't meet people along the way and connect deeply? We could. But again, your other chart is interesting because your Venus was in Aries in that other chart, which is tricky energy. It's a young Venus, meaning she's just all about physical attraction, like because she's a young Venus. The saying young and dumb. It's not saying you are, but it's just saying that love language. Whenever Venus is in Aries, she loves like a child. She's spontaneous, which can be fun, but she's not thinking about the long term. And then she's wondering why she's alone. Like that's Venus in Aries. That's just who she is. So this may take some rearranging of your own belief systems. Okay, that's just the reality of it. And you have Saturn squaring, the income and the money and the finances. So it's not a real long term. I mean, it is. It's 2.5 years that this is happening. So if you're in a job that you don't care for, or if you're like, I don't even have a job, I'm looking, just keep in mind that Venus right now, especially in this other chart, is in group energy, which means this is a really good time for you to be networking, utilizing group energy. This is also technology and online. So if you aren't already doing that, Venus is providing some support as she's going through the Virgo energy in your 11th house in this chart, while you have Uranus in Earth in the partnerships. And in this chart, you have a ton in Capricorn down here. You follow? So right now, Venus is training your sun. Venus is training your Uranus. You used it for astrology, right? And maybe you're doing it other ways, but you have to, just make yourself available. And because Venus is your great benefic, hopefully for you, this Venus brings you some good news. This would be fast energy, by the way. This is within the next 5 days. This isn't short. I said this isn't short. It's not like tomorrow or the next day. Venus moves fast, and she's not going to last real long, where she's trining all your Earth energy in Capricorn. And that's in the house of news and talking and information. interviews, right? So hopefully, you're doing what you need to do if you're on that path of trying to get your name out there and looking to either get a job or go somewhere else, looking over your options. These next 5 days look to be quite promising. And even if it's not something that's a long-term thing, you might have to buckle down and figure out what's really, it comes back to Venus again and our priorities and our creature comforts. And sometimes we have to choose, well, food, or no, that's not the right job for me. Should I pay my rent? Or, sometimes we have to make those hard decisions and do stuff we don't really want to do. That's just the reality sometimes. But remember to use it as a springboard. With a chart like yours, holy crap. Yeah. You should be able to do that. If not for permanent, but then down the line. Work that thing until you find the job that you really want to get. But again, you're not in a quick cycle for work or love, okay? For the long-term stuff. Okay, so Amy Holmes, you're up next, it says here. Is Amy Holmes here? This says April 13th, 1976, New Hampshire, 8:40 a.m. Curious about love. Are you still here? So people asking, hi, will you read for me? I read for people who show up in the chat with their birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. You follow? You got it. We do go in order. Tia says, I think I'm doing something wrong. Well, Tia, if you gave me your digits before, then I have them likely. You might be watching on the, it says question mark. How interesting is that? Hey, Lou S is here. What's going on, Lou? Is Amy Holmes here? Let's go scroll down and see if Amy Holmes responded. We're going to do a couple more seconds here for Amy Holmes. 94 Sweet Goat, you are welcome. Not so great with relationship. No, you have very independent energy, my friend. Your chart that's a signature in your chart. In multiple ways you have it. You have it signed by degree, by configurations of things angling. Very independent energy. That's what you have. It's tricky. Everybody, yeah, it's just tricky. The way out of that is, you almost have to meet somebody who is equally as independent, and that's hard. All right, so I don't see an answer from Amy Holmes, so we're scrolling on. Amy Holmes didn't come in and say that she's here, so she's probably gone. Let me double check let me check over here. Did you guys like the live stream? Help the channel, help you. Like the live stream, let me do that. That might be good, right? You want to, you can share it with anybody who you think might benefit from getting a speed reading here. Again, we do this so that everybody can have an opportunity. I mean, regular astrology readings, honestly, it's for 90 minutes, one-on-one with an astrologer. 90 minutes. The minimum, the low base is $300. I'm not making that up. Not at all. So it's tricky. And it's beyond tricky, really. It's like, what the hell? I can't afford that, right? That's taking it to a whole nother level. So let me like this. There we go. And let's see if we got anybody in the chat. Okay, so no, nothing from Amy Holmes. So we're scrolling on. All right, Amy Holmes, going next. This Hindu 123, I don't see your digits. I put your name up, but you don't have digits. So we're going on to the next name. Oh, wait a minute. Do you have your digits now? Let's see. Are you here? Hindu 123? JAI, Hindu 123. Are you here? I don't see a birth time, but I can create a new hour chart. Is this person here? Going once, going twice. These are speed readings. We don't have. Yep, I need you to answer. Hello. All right, we're going to move on. We got to keep it going. This got to keep it fair for everybody else. Thank you, G. That's her 100%. Oh, you're welcome, Donna. No problem. Thank you for bringing her digits. I'm glad I got a chance to look. And oh my God, holy boss energy. Holy shit. I'm so glad to hear she uses her creativity. Here we go. We got another name here with some digits. How's my music is going to affect people? God, I hope good. December 3rd, 2007. Are you here? 2345. Do you say Soweto? How do you say that? Is that Africa? Is December 3rd, 2007 here? We're going through fast. If you don't answer, I'm moving on. Come on now. Anybody? Anybody? All right, we're going on to the next one. TS, I think you're next. Did you give me your digits? TS, why do I keep seeing this? But it doesn't include your digits. Yeah. That's kind of crazy, huh? All right, we got to move on. Okay. So TS, when you're commenting to other people, it might be a good idea to include your digits. I see those in there. Are you here, TS? Because I think we may have you in the system. And if we do, they disappear when I close out and come back. I'm noticing, but certain messages are still here. All right. Well, if you're having tech issues, then I guess come back on a day when you're not. I can't help you with that. I don't have a magic wand. But if you're still here, and if you want me to read for you, then I can do that. But other than the rest of that stuff, ain't nothing I can do. So let me scroll past. I mean, many times it could have a lot to do with your internet, you know what I mean, and the speed. Because live streams, to be involved in them, I know it takes a lot. It just does. I know that part of it sucks. I totally get it. Jesse. What's going on, Jesse? You have my digits. Love life, please. Jesse, you're next. Are you here? I don't know if it's Jesse. I said Jesse. Jess. I think it's Jess. Jess, are you still here? All right, we're going to keep on rolling. Jess, are you here? I'm giving you a little bit of time. This chat's got to move fast. We got other people to talk with. T does not want a reading and believes you already have her chart. Tia is the chart under this handle, but does want a reading. Yeah. But I see that, but okay. The rules are you got to answer when I call your name. Jess, very good. Laura says I got skipped. Gigi says I got skipped. Not according to if my eye missed it, then my eye missed it. It's possible. But skipped implies I purposely strolled past your name, and I definitely didn't do that. Even the ones where they're like not giving me their digits, I say, I need your digits, right? Yeah, so it's possible. But Gigi, your name didn't show up until really late here in the chat, just so you know. I have all these names way in front of you. All right, so Jess is here. We're going to get Jess's on the board. Otherwise, I'll be talking all day and not getting charts done. Remember, these are free readings, okay? These are speed readings. The goal is to try to get you a little bit of some astrology and make it affordable so you don't have to pay a damn thing, a speed reading, right? Sometimes people send a gift to the channel, and that's wonderful. And when they do that, I spend a little bit more time on their chart, right? That's just how I do it, depending upon what gift they send, because I don't tell you what to send. It's a freaking gift. Hello. That depicts how much time I spend on your chart. Okay. So let's see. All right. So let me see here. Just let's get rid of that. And let's go. All right. Very good. I see you, Tala Albert. You got digits. Very good. I see them now. Let's get this on the screen. I thought it was on the screen. My bad. There it is. And Jess, what did Jess say to look at exactly? Maybe there wasn't something. Um, All right, so I think I need some water. This is what we're looking at. Jess said we're taking a look at the love life in this chart. Another Leo in the 6th house. This one's got a Saggy at the midheaven. South node going through Leo energy. Okay, there's your thing right there. There's your Venus, and the South node in Leo is on Regulus, so bam. What does that mean? That can mean we're releasing a love, a desire. Something or someone that was part of my day-to-day routines. These can be people. These can also be our furry friends sometimes. This can be an authority figure, boss figure, dad, because that's the Leo energy. You have the Venus here. Okay, so let's get this on the screen and let's see if I can see what else we can see here for you. We got to put the other chart on. Let me go back and do that so that we can go like that. Here we go. All right, so now you've got the Jupiter energy going through your Leo energy, your 6th house. Mercury's touching on your Venus. So conversations about desires, about love. Romance is usually big with Leo energy. Having fun. And right now the sun is conjunct. Yeah, the sun's spending its last moments. And today's the Venus day. So your love language wants to have a good time, right? Yeah. It wants to laugh, wants to be entertained. It wants to entertain even. Yeah. Children, home, family, domestic energy, but possibly even also for work kind of energy. But being the boss of my space, my routines, being the boss of my creativity, there can be some strong independent energy with this. Anytime I use the word boss, you follow? So that can make it tricky. And that's usually what happens. People refuse, because if we're the boss, that means we don't have to compromise, right? Yeah, that's usually how that goes. Again, another person with a lot of Virgo in the 7th house, strong Michael Jackson energy. And that's in a really good way because Mike had just amazing eye for detail and was just an unbelievable performer. Just unbelievable. So dramatics can be big here, all right? And this is all part of your Venus love language because your Venus is in Leo. So in terms of what's going on with love life, I don't know if those were your words, but what's new and what's coming down the pike for you is group energy, is friend energy, because that's where the North Node is. So there's something within groups and friends that's going to bring something forward for you that'll shake things up even more because it's expect the unexpected energy. Now, I would imagine because of all this energy that's here and your Venus is right there, you're already in that cycle. This can mean, again, if we're already in a relationship, this can make the road rocky, right? This can make things difficult. This can sometimes be, this isn't happening any longer, like this is over. And I'm saying goodbye to something. But it's a promise of something new. We're bringing something new. Something new is coming. Okay, that's the promise with this energy. And the thing is the eclipse, right? You have an eclipse here. Yeah, you have an eclipse here. And with this eclipse energy, with the romance department, again, this can be at work. So maybe if your relationships started at work or something, or someone that's part of your day-to-day routine, someone you're seeing all the time regularly, Things can happen where we react into fights, and it can get tricky. There's a lot of strong, fiery, spirited energy here, especially protecting property and space. Okay. And also, you have an object right across the way that's part of the eclipse that's coming up. Oh, I'm sorry, the eclipse that we had in the Leo energy. And that was group energy, but new and different. Okay, so you're really learning to embrace the new and the different and authentic. You're being asked to really kind of hone in on being comfortable with being uncomfortable. I know this might seem weird because this is in your 12th house. So this might be, this is the house of uniqueness and the inventor, but it's in a really creative placement for you, but it's connected to group energy. So the point of all of this is that it's opposite of your Leo. It's opposite of your heart energy. And so through friends, through group energy, you might connect with somebody along that line because that's where the news is going to be coming in. And it might even seem rather dreamy because it's coming through your 12th house, which means it can also be somebody who's a foreigner, foreign land, foreign language, someone who's far away from you. So it might be some online thing, right? Because they were using technology and it's the dream world. It's the fantasy, but it's also someone who's very far away. With Mars going through your 5th house of romance and right now on the 6th house cusp line of your emotions that has to do with children, fun, joy, creativity, this can be difficult. It can be tricky because we want to bond with people. You have objects up there in Scorpio, really strong bonded energies focusing on the future. This is going to pass. It'll give you, some breathing room, but think fun instead of authority. If you're in the midst of some love sort of a relationship that needs a little space, or that needs where we can step back and realize that everybody is an independent being, because maybe someone's being an authoritative kind of a figure over you, kind of presenting as a father figure or something, where they're coming down really hard and telling you what to do type of stuff. Finding ways to use jokes and laughter might help. But overall, communications and long-term relationships, especially ones that were comfortable, because you have Taurus in the 3rd house and you have Chiron sitting here. You see this, right? Chiron, it's a wound of love, self-worth, and values over learning and communication for you in your chart. So something there is working here with that throat chakra. And if there's traumas, which there would be because you have 0 degrees Scorpio on a house cusp line, connected to maybe spirituality, religious beliefs. There's a connection and trauma connected to the past, but also going to the future. There's healing that has to occur here. And because it's Venus energy, love language energy, desire energy, that means that there's stuff you got to work on just for yourself, for your own sake, before you can move on. So keep your eyes focused on the future, but most importantly, keep the eyes focused on self for right now, okay? Because we're just in a time of transition. All of us are, okay? And unless we've been in a long-term relationship that's extremely stable, and I mean decades long, that's really lived and gone through some crazy-ass experiences, it's almost as if, yeah, like there's going to be a lot of goodbyes and a lot of hellos. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're not alone in this. You're definitely not alone in this, because a lot of the goodbyes are relationships where we'd been bonded on a soul level, and it's time. It's like the end of the end. It's time to sever bonds. Okay. So just kind of see it as, this is the way it's supposed to be happening. I know it doesn't make it simple. And if that doesn't make sense, well, I don't know what to tell you. All right. So where is the next? We got let me go back to the TALA. TALA. You sent a gift to the channel. Are you here? Doesn't tell me what YouTube channel name was that sent this gift to the channel. But you would know who you are. Was it Cash App? TALA. It doesn't tell me who your name is in the chat. Are you here? You sent a channel gift. Let me know if you're here. Oh, it's right there. It's right there. Okay. Bam. It's the same. Good. Okay. Okay, great. All right. You sent a gift to the channel. Very good. And then your digits, I believe, are right. Very good. Are you? Yeah. Okay. Let's get your chart up in here. Let's create that for you. We're going to go to new. And let's get you May 15th. May 15th. Oh, wow. Why didn't none of that went through? What's going on? My keyboard turned off? What's going on here? Is it playing a game on me? Come on, technology. Don't fail me. May 15th, 1983, 9 p.m. Did you make up that birth time? And this is St. Lucia's. Oh, no. Castries. I don't think I've ever done a chart for this before. St. Lucia. Oh, Lord, I can't spell. Love and career. Have you seen your chart before? Okay, so this is showing. Let's get rid of this other chart so we can see this chart. All right, these are speed readings. This is giving me a Capricorn on the rising at 18 degrees. Is that you? And we have a moon. Your moon is 29 degrees in Gemini. Oh my God. Talk about a person who loves to learn. That's the forever student, right? All right, let me get that mark off the screen for you. Or that, where is it? There it is. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I can get rid of that. There we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, so did you confirm if this is your chart? Have you seen your chart before? Are we looking at the right chart? Gemini moon, it's conjunct your north node. That's fortunate for you. Taurus sun at 24 degrees, but your ascendant 18 degrees rising. Does that sound right? That's what my mom said. Oh, your mom said that this was your birth time. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go with it. Again, when we have birth times that were not positive, and maybe mom's spot on. I wouldn't know. Well, let me go look at the moon. Yeah, maybe mom is spot on. It's a 29-degree moon if this is you. Is learning. Are you a forever student? Do you feel like you're always got a thirst for learning? Do you make it part of your everyday, your day-to-day routine? Writing, reading, is that part of your world? And if it's not, then maybe nowadays, what's your birth year? 1983. Maybe social media is your world, and maybe you learned that way using social media, using devices, using your phone. That's Gemini energy, a moon at 29 degrees with the north node there. School, education, learning, teaching, writing, reading. This is big time with that energy. Yeah. You also have Sirius at 24 over here in Aquarius. That's a nice trine to your North Node. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go find the love stuff. I believe that's what you were focusing on. Okay, love learning new things. Well, even the Sirius would say that because it's Sirius and in Aquarius energy in the second house of desires. And Aquarius is where the mind just really kind of opens up and it's open to new things and different and exciting. New is exciting, right? Yeah. So your Venus is your love language and your Venus is your great benefic in your chart. So this is home. This is domestic energy, maybe pets, maybe animals. It's at 6 degree, but health and mom has a strong Virgo vibration to it, actually. So my love language likes home, likes being in the house, but also in a practical way. It's got like a practical bent to it, even with the Virgo energy. So the love language can be, the person who appreciates, the new salt shaker or who appreciates the new vacuum machine or something like that. Not that you may not enjoy other things. Obviously, you have Taurus in the 5th house of Leo. So this may like things that are vibrant and colorful and desirable, right? Things that are like, ooh, gold, maybe even, jewelry, even because you got Taurus in the 5th. But something that's going to stand out probably and be extremely unique. Aquarius in the second house. So I'm also describing your love language, by the way. This is desire energy, desire for love, desire for money, desire for work and income. It's unique and different. And I'm the authority and the boss of my own shit. You follow? So a person who has this kind of energy, they may want something that's really authentic, like they're shopping on Etsy, or they actually produce and make stuff and sell stuff on Etsy, or both, all of the above. Like they want something like, because this is strong crafting energy, 6 degrees. This Gemini stuff is, in the Virgo house placement, is doing things with my hands within a group, like networking and locally in my neighborhood. This is energy that reminds me of a friend of mine where their church, they did crafting like every Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever the hell it was. And then they would, every few months they would have like a big crafting bazaar and all the proceeds went to the church. But it was a group that got together and they chit-chatted and talked. And yeah, they did the whole neighborhood thing and gossiped and all that shit. And that's totally Gemini energy, gossiping. That's why social media is such a hot goddamn mess. People just go on there to start shit, right? But that's Gemini. It's really scattered. It's all over the damn place. So your Venus, home, nurturing, emotional security, emotional stability, the practical, tangible Virgo things, organize, cleanliness. There's a place for everything, a thing for every place, trying to make improvements. How can we, Virgo is the fixer, can connect the dots when it gets to somewhere. And this is what you would do within home and family. This can be really good caregiver energy too, by the way. Taking care of an elder, even, Venus at the 6 degrees. So your love language is sincere. It's going to, that's going to be important to it, that somebody shows them the sincerity, and that are sensitive in terms of communications. I mean, because you even have Pisces in the 3rd house here. So you have to be cautious in establishing boundaries. And you'd also have to be cautious in love, because there might be a high sense of idealism. However, thankfully, your Venus is at a very logical degree, and that's a saving grace here, I think. So you do have, as far as friendships and meeting people, Jupiter and Uranus conjunct, which is new and exciting. Yeah. Disruptive, different, friends in group, traveling, seeking and searching. These are like the astronauts that go to space. Like there's just like, yeah, we haven't done that yet. Let's go do that type of thing. But freedom, holy hell, freedom and independence. You, my friend, have it in relationships. You have it really strongly. This is difficult energy for committed, significant one-on-one relationships. It doesn't mean you can't do that. It just means there may be moments, especially when objects are conjunct or angling, squaring, whatever, opposing, where this can be a challenge because you have strong, fierce, independent energy within relationships here. Now, this may also mean you like an abundance of significant one-on-one relationships, but again, freedom reigns. Freedom reigns. So how does a person weave that into their life, and how does it make sense? I don't know. You let me know when you figure it out, because I have so many people who come here with the same question who are trying to figure out how to balance all of that. Some people make it work. They just do. Others, they just wing it. They just go day to day. They're like, whatever. And you have a superpower. Your superpower is being independent. I'm not making it up. It's right here. 25 degrees is your south node in Sagittarius. This is your superpower energy. So you have been a solo traveler. And Saggy is also about spirituality and wisdom. These people were like monks in the monasteries, preachers. These people were people of the cloth. You have it in the 12th house. Again, people of the cloth. This is energy of institutions. You follow? So those people had no problem being alone. They knew they were connecting to a higher power. And that's hard energy to get into a relationship with, because they're already married on another level to something else. They're already committed. They have another commitment. And so some people may feel like they're competing in some weird way, right? So it can be tricky, especially when somebody has Taurus in the 5th house of fun and romance and mating and relating and let's have a good time. You have all this energy here, and Taurus is desires. You have Mars, you have Chiron, you have the sun, you have Mercury. So fun and children can go a long way, but being creative, okay? And maybe something will click there. But overall, just so that we're all clear on this with the love stuff, the nodes up in the sky are angling love. They're stressing it. We're our Taurus and our Scorpio energy, the placement of love, of what's mine and who is mine, and our shared values, our shared love, our shared assets and shared desires. The north and the south node in the sky are like in a big gigantic arm wrestle with the money and the values and the desire energy. So this is a challenging time in terms of love and money and assets and values for the next 18 months. This isn't like it's over in a week or two. This is a challenge. The thing is to be flexible and to do self-work. This is like the bottom line message for everybody because we're learning what do we value and who do we value. Okay. And you don't have anything at 0 degrees of Taurus in terms of self-worth and values at this moment, but that is going to be something that comes up because it's connected to your emotions, your assets, your food, your creature comforts, connected to how you feel about yourself. What makes you feel emotionally stable, safe, and secure? A big part of it is your Taurus energy, but it is also your freedom. You see, your Mercury, your Aries energy, freedom on the 4th house cusp line, freedom of my body, my independence. Yeah, it's really big. And the Taurus and the Aries together combined, they can be tricky. So as far as creating, and using your Venus, remember, this is your great benefic. This is how I make my money. Remember, I said love and money. And that Venus right there in Cancer rules your Taurus energy. And Taurus wants something or someone to look beautiful. Okay. So smell good, look good, taste good, like all the 5 senses is Taurus. So maybe beauty, always beauty, peace, and harmony those are big keywords for Taurus. But the 5th house, entertainment. So this can be flashy. Whether it's, who the hell knows? Hair is a big deal with the 5th house. And this again is your love language. And when we come down to the love language, this means, you want it big, you want it colorful. It should be like, it should be bold because that's that Leo energy. Oh, Lord. Yeah. So with that said, I think it's a challenge. That's just the reality of it. It's a challenge. Now, really quickly, do you have anything? Let me see. Your opportunity. If you're looking for masculine energy in love, yikes. So Jupiter's going through your 8th house. It already went through your 7th house of partnerships. So the last year, right? Jupiter was all in your 7th house. You probably had a lot of opportunities for one-on-one situations. Like could be business partnerships, could be personal relationships. And then things changed, right? Jupiter went into Leo and now it's in your 8th house of wounds. It's also insurance money, by the way. You have Jupiter there, but Jupiter's not your great benefic, actually. And you already had your Jupiter trine Jupiter. So I feel like it's the focus on Jupiter and the South Node going through the House of Wounds and bonded energy. This is looking at the past. It's looking at creativity and childhood, boss energy, father energy, independent energy, but creative energy. Really creative energy when someone has Leo in the 8th house. So is Taurus in the 5th. Like you have quite a few creative things. So the Leo is also the romance, right? And so it's the wounds. And as Jupiter goes through there, it might give you awareness and you may have some ahas about things. And it's that kind of energy that can help us transform and change and heal. And after we do that, and that is not overnight because we have to wait for the next 18 months for the node to get done with our Leo energy. Okay. So have fun for right now. Have fun and focus on self, right? Just kind of do that and see where that takes you because yeah, all the big things that increase long-term stability, you might have a shot at it when Saturn goes backwards to the 7 degrees. You follow? Because the Saturn's going through fire right now, and you have Uranus at 7, and Saturn, I believe, goes back to 7 degrees in her retrograde. So you might have a nice opportunity, or it goes back to 8. You might have a nice opportunity for connection then. And that, yeah, that's going to be like October going into November. You follow? So mid-October going into November, Saturn is long-term. Saturn matures my Aries energy and it says, okay, I want to think about something that's going to last a long time instead of things that are just simply fun and alluring, right? So yeah, end of October going into November, Saturn's going to come through there and it'll connect to Uranus, which screams new, which connects to your Jupiter. It's in the group, it's in the placement of groups and friendships, okay? Hope that helps. And thank you for the channel gift. Thank you very much. All right, we're moving on. These are free readings. We're giving readings to the names that show up in the chat. We do go in order. Sometimes I spend more time on a chart if somebody has gifted the channel. And now we're on to the next reading. These are speed readings. So we're moving on. I always got to find out where I left off and to get a name that is actually here. Yeah. Tia, Jessa, we said these names. We did a reading for, yep, those two. Take No Prisoners says, hey, how you doing today? Doing good. How are you doing today? Okay, so this one says, this one doesn't have digits. You don't have digits. I don't know how to say your name. Asan Mir, my star Cancer and husband Sagittarius. I asked that our kids are possible because one kid, our marriage 6 years, need digits. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. All right, we're moving on. Disappeared again. I sent it again, but it disappeared. Okay, well, thank you for your help. Take No Prisoners. Could I hop on the list? You could, but I would need your digits. Take No Prisoners. Oh, Take No Prisoners jumped on the list and dropped their digits. That's how you do it. Are you still here? 1983, Flemington, New Jersey, USA. Are you here? That's how you get in. Take No Prisoners said, I'm still here. Okay, very good. Then it's your turn, Take No Prisoners. Yeah, let's go back and Let me find where you threw your digits in there. You had them in there. You were like, can I get in on this? Yes, you can. All right, and there we are. Let me create that chart. And September 5th, 1983. A lot of 1983s, folks. Have y'all noticed that so far? I mean, I haven't had to change the year in a few charts now. These folks are going through it, huh? All right, and I have 10:55 a.m. Yeah, there's a video up on the channel for y'all for risings. Rising sign videos for the eclipse. In case anybody didn't get to see it. That's for the eclipse that's coming up toward the end of August. It's a full moon eclipse. It's a rising sign video. So if you know your rising sign, that video's for you. But you could also apply it to your moon sign. Flemington. Have you seen your chart before? Do you know your rising sign? Do you know all that? So we can confirm if this chart is accurate. Let's get it on the screen. Let's hope to God this thing is... let's go like that. All right, this is showing. I need water. That's what it's showing. Scorpio on the ascendant. Scorpio ascendant, and you are a Leo moon. Holy crap. Eclipse energy. You just had an eclipse there on your moon. I don't know if you knew that or not. Yep. All the Leo moons, a lot of Leo moons have showed up for that eclipse. I can tell you that much. The last few months, the last few live streams for the last month, and even the prior month, a lot of Leo moons were showing up. You have a Leo moon at 21, Mars in Leo. Whoa. Ooh, a retrograde Venus at 25. Okay, this is quite serious. Oh, wow. It's a trine to your Neptune, though. Okay. Yeah. Let's see if you know if this is you. Scorpio rising Leo moon. Got it. Okay, good. And it sounds about right. Scorpio on the rising. Something interesting about the way these folks look. They have an intense look about them. There's a depth. Usually when people see Scorpio on the ascendants, they can see the depth in their eyes. You know, some people say, oh, I can see their soul. Interesting chart. You have a Mercury at 0 degrees. So you have a retrograde Mercury and a retrograde Venus. Yows. A Virgo sun at 12 degrees. Conjunct your 11th house cusp line. Wow. Very unique and different kind of energy. You even have institutional energy too here. Group and social services possible. Friends. Service to the group. Virgo in the 11th house. Wow. These can be people who were literally in the service. I mean, but with all that Leo energy, this is energy that wants to entertain and have fun. But honestly, when you look back at the old schoolers, like the old schoolers, how many of them served in the military, at least in America's history? And then when they got out of the military, they went right into Hollywood, right? Like that's Leo energy. They do it, man. They do it big. They can take the responsibility, the authority, and you have a lot of stuff here in Leo, and it's in the boss location of your chart. So taking action, your Mars might get a little wild being in Leo in terms of wanting to have a good time and being a bit theatrical. Wow. Okay, so what am I yeah, we're just going to go with whatever's popping up because I don't see a question. So when a person has a Venus at the 25 and it's in Leo and it's a retrograding, okay, the retrograding means that we internalize that energy, right? So what I value, who I value. And when we internalize, it means we're thinking about ourselves, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean like I'm selfish, although Leo energy can be there can be some pride there with that energy. So the ego energy might be strong sometimes. And so it might be overly focused on self and what it is that I want for fun or what I want to do, what I value, who I love, how I want it, right? That would be Venus in the Leo energy. But laughter and jokes would be smart. It would be a way to really get far with people and things, especially if you're in a position of authority. Having your moon there means dramatics. And again, along with the laughter and the fun, dramatics, children, long-term goals for sustaining and stabilizing energy. With this Leo stuff, sometimes these people do hair, makeup, like artsy stuff, Hollywood stuff, because it's about entertainment, but it's strong creative energy either way. So how do you use your creativity? This is performative energy because you have Mars here, especially. Mars in Leo. Leo's already performative energy, right? Artistically performative energy. And a nice trine. 11 degrees shows up with your vertex too. Wow. Okay. So you have a nice fire trine. Very strong fire trine. Okay. So let me see what else comes up. You have this big kite here. So the kite comes down to, wow. Geez. Okay. If I say the words chaos, almost like an organized chaos, and nurturing, group energy, friends, home, family, maybe seniors, but mom and property, possibly even and power. This is a big deal here, but different and unconventional family energy. Maybe mom and dad, different and unconventional. Can be quite detached energy here. Might even feel cold in the home and the family. This is at the top of your kite. And you have multiple kites in your chart, by the way. Multiple kites. The one kite at the top is telling me to do service for the group. I can be detached from my own home and my own family because I can serve friends, I can serve the group, I can be part of a social system, something that can benefit humanity. So technology, of course, but inventions, right? These are humanitarians. These are people who show up for other people, even and volunteer, right? It can be that energy. But you have such a strong air trine, talking, communication, ideas, original thinking, original ideas about home, property, family, and your Mercury at 0 degrees, businesses, contracts, lawyer degree. Yeah, like this is a lot of this courtrooms. And this is the placement of benefits, friends with benefits. It's the placement of the angelic realm, communication, which is also internalized here in your chart. Talking, rethinking, going over the details. Holy shit. This is really smart energy too. This can be really smart energy. Thoughts can be really structured and organized. But as far as your nerves and the nervous system, there might be some difficulties there with that. I'm just saying. That's what's just jumping out. There might be some difficulties. Your mind energy is really strong in a lot of ways here. So there might just be work that if it doesn't have challenges, meaning you have to find ways to stimulate it with a challenge, I should say. Otherwise, yeah, there might be some issues. But organized thought and structure and words comes forward here. As far as desires and love, you have to be cautious. You have to be cautious because you have Jupiter and Sagittarius both, and Uranus. I want different. I want unconventional. I want exciting. I want to go on a journey. I want to escape. Substances, travel, addiction, like all of this and cravings can, I like to drink my wine, Jesus, that's Jupiter and Saggy. You just might find there are times that where you're like, yeah, that's my thing. But there can be some major wounds associated to that. Communications and desires. Yeah, because you've got Chiron in the 8th house. All right, so I don't know. I gave you a little bit of everything. I was giving you whatever the hell was popping out. It seemed like it was just going all the way around. So, you might have to use, the positive thing about the Jupiter is your great benefic, and it's in the mind degree. So that's a positive and a negative. The mind never really shuts off, right? But it's, you have to, the vagus nerve. Yeah. To calm the system down. I think they have, like I said, something with breathing. I was telling somebody else this not too long ago. There's something there where, like meditation, even because you have Pisces in the 5th house, breathing, meditation, humming, that's all connected to this mind and the Mercury energy. It goes right through the system. And if that's all bunched up and jacked up or whatever the hell it is, I don't know anything about all this really. I just know this came to me strongly in the last 14 days. But for the nervous system and stuff, you have to kind of reset it. And it's that freaking vagus nerve. You have to kind of utilize breathing and meditation techniques. And I guess some people say there's like really simplistic humming things, just breathing in and humming. And it does this reset. Again, go. I know YouTube has a ton of shit, so you can find it there. Instead of using substances, some people use substances. So it's up to you. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I hope that's helped. Hope it makes sense. Yeah. It's my spending. All right. I think I went back too far. Yes, that's how it feels. Okay. All right. So we just did a reading, a free reading, a speed reading. And let me scroll through this because we're just about wrapping things up. We're just about near our end time. Let me see if I did the goat, did Tella. Okay. It looks like, I don't know if this person's here. Ganesh, are you here? Looks like I got digits for you here. Are you here? Oh, Lou, I see your question. Tomorrow is a private lives. And last week was the astrology class. So yeah, we're going to have another astrology class the second Saturday. So it's the 12th of September, and it's our astro class. Doesn't matter what level of astrology you're at. Trust me, you're going to learn something at whatever level. If you're interested in astrology class or private lives, which private lives is the same thing we do here, but it's a limited small group. And that's the 4th Saturday of every month. Yeah, you can always send an email if you're interested in any of these other things that the channel is always doing to get in on that. And just, I will just add, they're all affordable, folks, okay? I make it so that it's affordable, all right? You could always just send an email and I'll give you the details there. All right. So with that said, I'm waiting to see if Ganesh answered. All right. All right. No answer with Ganesh. So we're moving on. Ganesh is probably long gone, which is fine. So Gigi, let me address this. I looked through the chat multiple times, and on my end, you were not one of the first ones here. I'm just letting you know. Like, I could do a freaking screenshot of this because after I saw your comment, I thought, well, I've seen Gigi's name before. You've been here before. And the first time your name comes up, just so that you can know that on my end here, that the first time, I want to give you the time just so you can know that that's just the way it sometimes happens. It showed that you got here at 4:06, and that was the first time you commented, and this was your comment. Hi, I think we got skipped. This is the first time your comment shows up here. Okay? So I just wanted to clear the air on that, just so that you understand. Okay? And the live stream started at 3:00. You follow? So I just wanted to be very crystal clear on that. So anyway, Gigi says she is with me. Okay. Is this a trick? She is with me. Okay, well. And let me see, like, Gigi, did you send a gift to the channel? Okay. Well, Gigi, I can quickly throw your chart up here. You're still here, which makes it easier. So we're not like waiting for people. Let me make sure I got you. I know I've seen you in here before. Yeah, I don't know this whole, yeah. I have Gigi Hayes, November 17th, 1998, 6:12 a.m. That's the chart I have. Yeah. So just so you know, you were not one of the first comments, okay? And here's your stuff. So this is what's jumping out. Literally, it's funny, interesting too. You have Sirius at 9 degrees in relationship energy, talking, communication, significant one-on-ones, okay? Business and personal. It likes to have a rapport, needs to go back and forth. This would be a strong need for you. It's conjunct Aldebaran in your chart. So these people are strong communicators, but it's the rapport. It is the back and forth that is a need for you. It literally somehow nurtures you. There's history with this. You almost feel like a sense of rebirth when you have this. And you also have that training almost exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. Uranus energy. So technology. So online astrology. What we're doing here, live streaming, this exactly. And it's in your third house. So there might be funky things that occur. Like maybe you left a comment and maybe the technology played a trick on you. That's a possibility because the Isis energy connected to your Sirius here. Isis is about a death and a rebirth. Okay. It's change. And then you even have Pythia here. All right. Down here, Oracle energy connected to Aquarius energy using astrology and communication group energy in the live stream. Like literally what we're doing here now. But along with all of that is a strong angle. This Uranus and your Pythia, you have your moon over here in Scorpio at 6. You have your Juno in partnerships at 11 degrees. So you have some strong energy that's angling that. And so it can bring some frustration and some tension for you. Okay. But just know that in your chart, the third house, which is where your technology, your Uranus in Aquarius, these people are quick. They're fast. All right. Their mind moves fast. Their hands move fast. Their mouth moves fast. This is lightning bolt energy. And if we move too fast, sometimes stuff doesn't stick, doesn't stay, doesn't show up for whatever reason. But you can have an experience with glitchy stuff online. So even if it's not just today, right? Or if today is the first time you're having glitchy issues, because it's in the third house of Mercury, the house of tricks, right? The house of sometimes it might work, sometimes it might not. There can be a challenge to it. Okay. And so that just means that you kind of got to roll with the punches. You kind of just, stick with it, which is pretty much what you did. But I would just be careful in communicating your belief about what happened. I'm just saying, and this applies to life in general, not tonight, not today, but because your Mercury is in Saggy and it's on your second house cusp line of desires and your beliefs. It's right there. You follow? This Mercury in Saggy is part of the energy that you have in your third house. It's just part of it, and it's part of the energy you have in the seventh house, which is where I began with the air energy. So it's tricky because you have a Mercury that's in its detriment, which means she's weak here. And this is talking and communication, but using my thumbs and technology. You follow? So this is all connected. And connected to your desire energy and what you believe is going on, your philosophy on life, your spirituality, your religion. You just want to try to step back and have a little patience and rethink it through and think of all the different possibilities of how or why something could have ended up the way it did, or how it happened. And that easy mistakes can, just simply be mistakes if they happen, right? It doesn't mean that they're intentional. Okay. And your best bet, honestly, your best bet is to come across in a way where you're embracing more of your Venus energy. Okay. Your Venus energy is the Scorpio at 29, and this is a ride or die energy. So that's important. But I want you to more strongly embrace a Venus who's more about harmony, who doesn't show up ready to fight. You follow? Because that's how it comes across. You follow? And because we're online, it's hard to not know what I'm like. Okay, what's going on here? Are these fighting words? So you just want to realize that's a possibility that it may be taken that way with people, because your Venus at 29 has a strong connection to this Neptune at 29. And the Neptune can blur your vision of the way this Venus is expressing. You follow? What this Venus desires and how she comes across. And so these are just things to keep in mind, okay, in general. Now, this would also be your love energy, your desire energy, and Venus is your greater benefic. So this Venus and her coming on strong, she may have had found success with this in her life. There's no doubt that she has found that the squeaky wheel gets the attention, or whatever the thing is. She may have found that she's had great success with that. It's Scorpio energy that the nodes are angling. You follow? So up in the sky, the node is sitting right here at 29 degrees of Aquarius, and it's on your south node, which is it's time to release and let something or someone go. Communication is huge here. My communication style, the way I think, authority figure energy, boss energy, it's literally, we're releasing the way we used to do things. And it's angling exactly your Venus. And this will be all the way till mid-October. And it has been going on since July. You follow? So it's a stress and attention to your values, and it's connected to self. So I feel like I come off quite defensive, right? I feel like I have to, like I've been done wrong or something, right? Like there's some trauma, there's some vulnerabilities here, damn it. And I'm not going to stay quiet. Like this can be a thing. And not just here or wherever, but this is a challenge. This is the cycle you're in right now. And again, it's not going to ease off until, well, you actually kind of have a big challenge ahead in terms of this, because it'll then go to your South Node. Now, when I say challenge, I just mean it's a challenge to your values and your shared values. So this is a challenge to myself and my significant one-on-one relationships. So that means partnerships, myself and partnerships, people I'm deeply bonded with, okay? Things that are deeply important to me, energetic bonds. The node, when it touches, I think you're having, yeah, I think I said South Node on South Node. If I said that, yeah, that was incorrect. But what I'm saying is still the same thing. It is a release, okay? So we're releasing something that's connected to friends and group energy and authority figure type of energy, all right? Independence might be part of it, but again, technology, online, streaming, that may also play a role in this, okay? There just might be things where you're like, I've outgrown that, I'm done with it. And the nodes will supply you with the ability to expect the unexpected and to roll with the punches, because this is what this energy is. That's your superpower. You know how to do that already. But the node is saying, I want you to learn a different way. You follow? So you're throwing away the old, not every single piece of it. We're not throwing out the baby, we're throwing out the bathwater. And we are embracing the new, because we're learning how to adapt and how to change. And for you, beliefs is part of it. Okay. Beliefs is a huge part of it. All right. So I hope that has helped. And we are done. You were the last chart of the day. We do this usually a couple of times a week. We've had, like storms and craziness going on. So our schedule's been a little wacky. Usually on Saturday nights, you can find me doing a live stream. This Saturday, it is a private live stream. And so we have the following Saturday, which will be here doing what we just did here, but we'll do it Saturday night at 7 p.m. Or you can catch me at a surprise live, which is Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, usually between 9 and 5. All right. So these were free readings, speed readings, and they're available to everybody. Every now and then someone sends a channel gift and we take more time with those readings. Okay. And so if you are here watching and you ever want to get in on this, you could send me an email. You could let me know what you want to do, or you could just pop up in a live stream. So make sure you tap your freaking bell or whatever the hell they have on YouTube that alerts you anytime someone's live. And then that way you're alerted as soon as I go live, and you can get in the chat and we go in order of how your name shows up in the chat. Okay. So with that said, I think I'm done. Everybody, please stay safe out there. Try to, embrace all this Leo energy. The sun's about to leave Leo, right? In 2 days, Leo season is over, but we still have Jupiter in Leo and the South Node in Leo. So there's a lot to be grateful for and a lot of different ways to still have fun and creative energy. You follow? Embrace that. Use that as our gift. I almost see it as this entire space that's surrounding us with grace and gratitude for right now with Jupiter, Jupiter, and then that South Node and the Leo energy. So I feel like that's just the way forward for us. All right. So with that, we're going to end. Thank you, everybody who came through, who came to the live, and thank you for everybody who sent gifts to the channel. Appreciate it very much. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care.